to know stuff.
Okay.
All right, we are live on Wednesday night instead of Thursday night. Welcome to Up on the Bars. All right, we are live on Wednesday night on Up on the Bars discussion, and tonight we have a young lady coming to us all the way from Florida. And our guest tonight is Lacy Kuehl. Welcome, Lacy, and let's get started into this. So, I met the Kuehl family through one of our favorite guests, Ed Renzi, and got connected with you. Ed has been highly complimentary of you on this show, talking about what a talent you are. First of all, how did you meet Ed Renzi?
I met Ed at the Villagers Motor Racing Fan Club Hall of Fame induction this year. It was earlier on this year. We met there, and we talked a little bit. He came up to me after we got inducted and got our medals and stuff. And then we had breakfast, and that's how we met.
Yeah. All right. See, I met Ed kind of by chance through somebody else. And one of our friends on here who works on my pit crew says hello. Her name is Lacy as well. Her name is Lacy Lester.
Hi, Lacy.
So, yeah. So we have the two Lacys in here tonight. I saw your Legends cars, and I have to tell you, I saw Legend cars the first time this year at the Stockton 99 Speedway. Mm-hmm. I love those cars. I like the dwarf cars on dirt, and that's the same thing you do. Can you tell us a little bit about the Legends cars and what they are?
The Legend cars are a 5/8 scale. You have like a 1934 Ford with like the running boards and the fenders. They're like a smaller scale of those 1934 cars, and they have a FZ09 Yamaha motor, or they either have a 1250 Yamaha. My motor is about 120 horsepower, and the car weighs 1,300 pounds with a driver in it.
So you got high horsepower, low weight. So yeah. You got an extreme amount of acceleration in those. I like them because they look like the old style cars. That's why I like them. And I know with the dwarf cars out here, they build them up to where they look like the old little pickups and things like that. There's a variety of them, and I love them. I love the sound when they wind up because they sound like bumblebees. I hate to say it, but they do. But yeah. They're insanely fast. So I brought you on here, and everybody can see on the bottom of the screen ticking across there, dfda.info. This is why we have Lacy on here tonight to talk about something that is near and dear to her. Can you tell us what that is and start into it, and what your mission is?
Our mission, my charity that my family, we founded, Drive for Diabetes Awareness. We founded it after my little brother Rocco passed away in 2010. He went into diabetic ketoacidosis. They said he had the flu 3 times to go home. Long story short, he went into diabetic ketoacidosis. It's like a diabetic coma, and the doctors continued to treat him wrong, and unfortunately passed away at the age of 1, 2 weeks after his first birthday. So my dad got into racing, and he wanted to start racing, and he wanted to do it for Drive for Diabetes Awareness. So we go out there and we spread the symptoms of diabetes to families and kids. We give out merchandise, and we do all that we can to spread the symptoms of diabetes so that no one has to go through what my family and my little brother had to go through.
All right, and I'm going to share this up here on the screen ahead of us, and then I'll tell you why this is important to me. My brother was diagnosed at 18 months old with juvenile diabetes, lived with it all of his life, and he passed away from it. And I have some high school friends that were in here that knew him and knew what he went through. And we were all involved with the American Diabetes Association. So we put this up here, and this is your thing that you hand out at all the racetracks. It says, check, don't guess. And the symptoms: sudden weight loss, confusion, vomiting, extreme thirst, frequent urination, sudden vision changes, drowsiness, lethargy, fruity breath, unconsciousness, and heavy labored breathing, increased appetite. So I took some of that stuff so we could post it up. If you want to find out more about it, we have, like I said, there's a link to the bottom to their page that talks about all of this. So how old were you when this all started, and how did you get into racing? Because I read a little bit of your backstory. You wanted a street stock.
No, I did not want a street stock. My dad wanted one.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you wanted a street stock.
I was 4, about the age of 4, 3 or 4, when my little brother passed away. But what happened was my dad was really mad, and we went to a charity event, and we met a diabetic race car driver. So we met that diabetic race car driver, and then we went to our local racetrack, DeSoto, for 6 weeks in a row. And I was forcing my dad to go for the last week because I wanted to go so bad. And we met Brooke Storr, who is a sportsman driver, and she was selling 2 go-karts and a street front-wheel drive. My dad didn't want a front-wheel drive. He wanted a street stock. And I said I wanted to race, so we got go-karts, and that's how I got into racing.
Okay, so guys, I have to brag on her a little bit. She is 15 and it will be 16 in July. And she's already a Hall of Fame driver. That should tell you something. She was inducted into a Hall of Fame in Florida this year. That's amazing. So tell us about that Hall of Fame down there and what's involved with it, because motorsports in Florida is not a little venture. We all see Volusia. We saw all of this stuff every year. So tell us how you got inducted and what that means for you.
What that means for me is that I've just been put on a pedestal of a lot of drivers in Florida with the Villages Motor Racing Fan Club. And the Villages Motor Racing Fan Club are amazing. We love them. I have them on my car. We put them on a lot of our posts and our brochures that we hand out at the racetrack. And we got involved with them. I'm pretty sure it was Joe Wigley when I was racing at the Inverness Grand Prix in 2017. That was the year that I won with my dad. And then 2018, we ran again. So that's how we got involved with them. And then they go out to like a lot of tracks. I know they go out to Citrus County Speedway, and I seen them out there last race when I finished 3rd. I seen all of them out in the stands with their yellow shirts, and I was waving at them saying hi. So that was cool.
Well, it posted up 167 members in the Villages Hall of Fame, and all are 65 and older. Well, except for you. So
yeah. Well, I'm not a member of it. I'm a part of their Hall of Fame. Because right. I can't be. I'm 15.
Right. But that's still, you're in their Hall of Fame. But that's to be at that age and be in a Hall of Fame already, that's awfully impressive. Now, 2019 was a big year for you as well. I'm going to let you tell why it was so important, but this is actually very cool, too, to the racing community. So tell us what happened with you in 2019.
In 2019, I was accepted into the NASCAR Drive for Diversity youth program. We got into the combine. We flew up to Charlotte, North Carolina to go race at GoPro Motorplex for the combine. We ran there. I was like the 2nd, 3rd fastest driver out there, and I was accepted into the program. And then we went up there over summer, and I raced in the Bojangles Summer Shootout, and we lived in our RV for 4 months up in Charlotte at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
So tell us what the combine is for those because a lot of us don't know exactly what that is. We have an idea, but tell us what happens with that and what goes on there.
So what happened at the combine really was like, it's the main focal point. They weren't just looking for like driving skills. They also had to do like interviews and see if we were promotable. And so we went to I remember we went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and we went around there and did stuff with them and did pictures. And then on the day of the actual combine, we went to GoPro Motorplex. We did interviews there, and then they had us go out for about 2 practice sessions. and then we went out for a race, and they split us into two groups. Pretty sure there were about 8 of us in each race. I don't really remember. Might have been 6. And then we just raced, and they wanted to see if we would improve and listen to what they said, and see if we did it. Really.
Okay. So apparently you did very well there to be picked
Yeah.
up for that. So now during that time frame and at the Drive for Diabetes Awareness page, there's a video of this. They handed out an award too, and I watched that. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was award for and all that stuff? Because I have a comment after it's done when you tell us about the award.
Yeah, in 2019, I got the NASCAR Youth Driver Award. So they gave me that award for what I do off track with my charity, not just on track as well. I know that Haley Deegan also has that award. So it's really cool to have the same award as Haley Deegan, I'd say. So
Yeah. So I know they brought a lady out that handed out the award to you, and then there was a gentleman there, I'm not sure of his name, was talking about it, and you went through there and you talked about that. And he was, I'm not saying he was a smart ass, I'm not trying to say that, but he was kind of his happy getting, and you shut him. He didn't have anything to say after your last comment in that video. People, y'all need to watch it because she was just spot on. You're a great interview, I could tell, because you just shut that guy down when he was talking right at the end. You just let him go, there's nothing left to say, and it just ended. I thought that was very cool. So,
yeah.
So how did you, for most of us in racing, learning how to get up and talk, like doing this show started kind of as a fun time more than anything. It's become somewhat popular. How did you become so polished of a speaker and comfortable getting out in that environment? Because that's a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say I'm that good of a speaker. Like in interviews, sometimes I talk too fast, or like I fumble on my words. It's kind of funny sometimes when I do it. I just laugh at myself. But like I mean, I used to stream on Twitch a lot, which helped me get out of that comfort zone because I would talk with chat. And then also I've been doing interviews since I started racing. So since the age of 6, my dad's been having me talk on a camera in front of everybody. So I've just gotten used to it. I mean, just talking with people and just being out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, well, and honestly, that's something that's hard to do. And I talked with your dad this morning, getting everything set up. And I've been doing voiceover we're doing a little TV show for Fox up in Sacramento, California. My tongue outruns my brain. I don't know if that happens to you. You start talking, it gets way ahead of it. And that's very, very hard to slow down and talk. And I'm sure that's what you go through. Mm-hmm. So I've watched some of your videos, and you do so much stuff off the track. And you have something big coming up this weekend. Can you talk a little bit about this? Because I think this is cool, too. I was reading about it. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have going on this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend I'm actually going to be racing for a 4-year-old girl. Her name is Oakley. She was recently just diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in February. It's very cool. Her whole family is going to be at the track, and we're going to be giving them some merchandise and a couple other things we're going to be doing with them this weekend. And we're just going to, what we do is we have her go out there, and we're just going to have fun, really, and just show her that there's people that actually care about what she's going through and that she's not alone with what she has.
Okay. So when they get to come to the track and hang out with you, what do they expect what can they expect out of it? Because I know a little bit about your background, and if you listen to your music online, I can already tell what y'all's pit time is like.
Well, at the track, I mean, when we have a 4-year-old, I don't know if we're gonna really be like blasting like anything bad. I don't know. We don't really do that. But what she's gonna expect is she's gonna go see me out there race, and then I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do my best to win it for her. So then she gets to go down onto the track, and we get to get pictures, and then we go out into the stands and we see people and we get pictures, and I don't know. It's just a fun time for the family. And then possibly walking around the track as well. I take them on a track walk.
Okay. Well, and your dad's been on several of shows when we've talked about things. I know you have a nickname, and it was thrown up there as soon as we went live. Tell us what your nickname is.
It's not my nickname. He's just trying to mess with me to make me mad. That's what my father does. It was when I was 6. On the back of my suit, I had the name Fireball when I first started because I liked the song Fireball by Pitbull when I was 6. But it's not my nickname. He just likes to say that, so then I have to hear about it every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's stuck anyway. You try to get away from it, but it's following you along. So
No, it's just him telling people, and I'm like, no, it's not my nickname. He's like, no.
yeah. So when y'all first started racing, I know your dad and I know your mom's commented on a couple of times. When y'all first started going to the track, y'all did camped and just popped up a tent and camped and stuff like that.
Stop. No, please. Sorry. It's on the back of the fire suit. Look at this.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's very cool. It's one of those things that you're going to have to keep on your fire suit, whether you like it or you don't, just because it's been there from the beginning.
This was my first ever fire suit when I was 6.
Wow. That's very nice. Very, very nice. So, what is that picture behind you with the checkered flag and the American flag? I think that's
right
very
here.
cool.
This set, this is by Terry Silvers. He's another Twitch streamer. And he makes like signs and stuff, and he does iRacing. And we've known him for a while. So he does like this wood workshop, and he made our logo with American flag, checkered flag, my name, my Twitch, and then it says, oh my gosh, that's gonna fall. 1 second. It says, on and off the track, Lacy Kuehl is an advocate for Drive for Diabetes awareness. She works relentlessly in helping others to share diabetes awareness, so no others shall die from misdiagnosis of type 1 diabetes or complacency checked on guests. So that's what it says on it.
Okay. I just was noticing it behind you. It's very cool. Being a veteran, and you can't see it, but I always got something, and American flag and all that stuff. I think it's very cool when you see stuff like that. And there's always a little bit of a story behind there. So, and I noticed your dad put the link for the interview for their Young Driver Awards on there. Everybody, if you get a chance to watch it, that's a really cool thing. Hey, Josh, how you doing? And I posted up earlier, didn't comment it, but Kim Price said she was diagnosed with diabetes this year. Kim is another really good friend. We all hung out together as kids and knew with my brother and all that stuff. And I wanted to talk about diabetes because, like I said, that's something that I grew up with and didn't know. How do I want to say? I didn't know it was any different or anything about it. We grew up with it. I went to camp with my brother. We went to camp every summer, and they taught us how to help with diabetes and do things like that. And it's, I like what y'all are doing with this, and I think it's very important. Where do you see yourself with your charity and what you're wanting to accomplish with it, other than just getting the word out?
Well, our mission statement is just to get the word out. We've already gotten Drive for Diabetes awareness to NASCAR, and we've currently got it to F3. We have another driver, Jason Alder. He's in the FR Americas, which is the F3 league year car. So if he wins this year's championship for Drive for Diabetes awareness, then he can go to Japan next year. So
awesome.
Then
I was stationed in Japan.
Worldwide.
Yeah. So I was stationed in Japan, been over there, and I was reading about Jason joining in and all that stuff. You met him through the combine, right?
No, I met him. Well, when I made the combine, I raced in Charlotte in 2019, and he was racing there. That was one of his last years in legend cars, and he won the semi-pro championship for all over the U.S. In a legend car. So that's how we met him there, and we gave him a brochure. And then last year, he gave us a call and said that he wants to help with our charity. So that's where it's gone now.
And with his help with the thing, I think that's recently, like you went to New Orleans for about a week, and then I think you went to California as well with that, didn't you?
I didn't go to California, but he has been racing all over. He recently just raced at Road America. He won this weekend. Well, not this upcoming, but last weekend. He
Mhm.
won. He came second, and then he got fourth, and then he also won the Omolgado Watch for the best move of the race. And then the race weekend before that, we did go to New Orleans for that race.
Yeah. So, having been in Florida and on multiple visits, I have to ask you, how do you not die in that hot and humidity in the car in Florida? That's all I want to know.
Because ever since I started racing, even in a go kart, instead of wearing a leather jacket, my dad would have me wear a racing suit. That's why I had that 6-year-old racing suit from when I was 6.
Yeah, I don't do well with the hot, even out here on the West Coast. And we don't have the humidity like you have down there. And if y'all have never made a trip to Florida, I'm telling you, you can walk in, take a shower, walk out to a vehicle, and you're already soaked in sweat. It's almost like it's useless to take a shower down there sometimes. It's horrible.
It depends, because like the winter's nice because it gets down to like 60, so then it's like nice weather, and then like over summer, it's like you're kind of just used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, down to 60 degrees. And for you, that's cold for you, right? I'm just
Well, no,
saying.
I like 60, 70, 80. 80's all right. 90, yeah, it's getting a little too hot. But I've raced in 100-degree weather before, which is crazy to think about. But I was dying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how y'all do it. I'm giving you all the props in the world. So, Robert Wayne Baker here comment says, love to hear she's a great promoter. Well, Robert Wayne Baker is one of our sponsors with the show. He has VIP Medical. And he has an answer to that question I just answered you. And he does IV hydration at the racetrack. So,
Oh, that's cool.
had to give him a big plug there. He got me tuned in on this IV hydration, and we talk about it all the time. That is something I'm a firm believer in. I've never had it till I went down there, but I can tell you right now, it's amazing stuff. He has one, especially when you get up towards our age. He's got one that has anti-inflammatories in it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like a brand new person after you take it. It's like, it doesn't hurt for a while. It's like, man, that's awesome. So I can't say enough about his stuff. Yes. So he also helps with lifestyle changes and health issues like that. So if any of our people that are listening that have any problems like diabetes or things like that, or you need help, contact Robert Baker at VIP Medical. He can help you with diets and all kinds of stuff. That's what he does for a living. So now, what you have something coming up in Atlanta this year?
Yes, I ran the Atlanta Thursday Thunder last year, and I'm going to be doing it this year too. So something really crazy is going to be happening. I'm going to be busy the whole entire time. We're going to be racing this Saturday for Oakley. Then on Wednesday, after we leave the track Sunday, we're going to be driving up to Atlanta. Then we race Thursday, and then we race Wednesday and Thursday during the week, like the middle of the weeks in June. And then the last week, we raced just on Thursday. So it's racing. We have 8 races in 4 weeks.
So the Thursday Thunder or whatever that you're talking about, what is that? Can you tell us a little bit about what that race is and what it means?
Yeah, so it's at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We don't race on the big track, but we race on the Legends Oval. It's the quarter mile. And they have all the Legends and Bandoleros, and we race out there on Thursdays around 6 o'clock. Sometimes it just depends on the day on what the schedule is. But it's just 8 race out of the month, and you're going for a championship.
How many cars usually show up for those at Atlanta? Because I would assume there's a lot of Legends cars.
Well, it depends. Last year, I think I was racing about 15, but I might be mistaken on that. But it varies throughout the years.
Okay, so knowing where Atlanta is in relation to Charlotte and all that area, are you getting into racing any of the up-and-coming stars that we can look forward to? And is there anybody that you can mention that you've seen that you got to race with coming up?
I've actually raced with Raja Karuth. He was my teammate in 2019. He's currently in the Xfinity Series. He's good friends with Bubba Wallace, and he's getting up there in the Xfinity Series. And then my other teammate from 2019, Blake Lothian, he ran the truck race at New Hampshire, and I was talking to him, and he's going to be racing another truck race at sometime soon. And then a couple of other drivers that have possibly been coming up. I mean, my teammate Mason Lastra, he's been doing good this year. It's only his rookie year in a legend car, and his average finish is 4th, and he's gone onto it really quick.
So you met the Venturinis. Are you doing stuff with the Venturinis with your racing right now, or?
No, I'm not. Not currently, no.
Okay, is that something that you're looking at doing along the way, or are you kind of doing your own thing with the team you're with now? Or?
Currently, I'm on MVP Motorsports with Chris Ham. He is a legend car team. And then I might apply for Rev Racing for next year, but we do not know at the moment if I'm going to do that. And I know that they have a ARCA team there, and they also have their late model team. So.
Yeah, Robert Wayne Baker, his daughter is just getting started in go-karts, and said she would like to connect you with you if you're open to that afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Mark Garner, what's up, buddy? So many good drivers coming up. Absolutely. I get to see Mark Garner. He's my buddy from Antioch area. He's going to be up racing the number 5 Winning Attitude Motorsports Pro Stock in Wairika, California this year. So I'm looking forward to getting to see him this weekend. Robert said she's 11 years old. Oh, and then I also got Alaska coming up. But your dad mentioned that too. Yeah. How do you get hooked up to go to Alaska to go racing? That's kind of a weird thing.
Honestly, it all happened within a week. It was kind of crazy how it happened. Big thank you to the Torque Foundation and just the whole racing community in Alaska. They came together to get me up there. The only thing, they have a car for me. They have it on Torque. They have with Tyron. Then we also have the rental car, the accommodations for like sleeping. That's already all been done for and set, and it happened within a week. The only thing that's left are the flights. And it was just set up with my dad saying something about having Drive for Diabetes Awareness come up to Alaska on a Facebook post, and all this happened. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's very cool. She also races after the Xfinity cars on July 9th at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Legends Cars All-Star Race. So what is that? I'd never heard of that one either. I know what Xfinity is, so we don't got to go there, but the All-Star Race.
So at Atlanta Motor Speedway, when NASCAR goes to Atlanta in July, sorry, I had a brain fart. So when they go there in July on the weekend of, I'm pretty sure it's the 9th. Where is it? Yeah, July 9th. We're going to be racing after the Xfinity cars. I did that race last year as well. We had technical issues, so I didn't make it into the All-Star race. But what happens is they have all the different features. We go out there, we do a heat race. The heat race determines who makes it into the feature, and then the top 3 to 5 cars from those features go to the All-Star race, which is put up of the Young Lions, the semi-pros, the pros, and the masters. So every class races together.
Okay, and so now you just mentioned all the different levels, and I'm sure that's based on age, experience, win record. Where do you fall in that group of cars? Which class are you racing in?
I'm in the Young Lions this year because I'm under the age of 16, but I can also possibly be in semi-pro if I wanted to. And semi-pro is just you have a certain amount of years of racing and your experience, so you can race in that group. The pros, you can run that if you have like wins and you've shown that you are good enough to run with them. They're super fast. They're like the best of the best, really. And then they have masters, which is 45 and up. I'm pretty sure that's the age.
Yeah. Well, and I think we have one of your, I think you mentioned teammate Johnny Lastra says, "Hey,
Johnny,
Lacy."
Yeah, that's my teammate's dad.
Yeah, okay. So he said, "Hey, Lacy." So it kind of cool getting to see different people popping in your. Now you're setting at your iRacing simulator. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your iRacing, because I know, especially with the pandemic, that's became kind of forefront. Have you got to race any of the bigger races that we've seen and heard about on there?
I haven't been. I'm not in the Coca-Cola like iRacing series. I never got to like the pro like card on iRacing, but I have ran in like some of the top split races with really good drivers, even streamers like Jabo. I know I've raced against Dale Earnhardt Jr. before. Who else? I've raced with a couple of NASCAR drivers. It's really cool how you have like them on there racing with you as well. But yeah, I've been on here for about 3 years now.
So when you're racing with those guys, do they trash talk on there like everybody else when they're out there racing? I have to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of trash talking and a lot of arguing and yelling and some things that I will not repeat that are said. So, yeah.
Now, have you said those things on there? That's
No,
the
I
next
have not
question.
said it on there. I might have said something in my chair, not on the mic, but that's fine.
I know I know your dad, and he said that, and I know we've heard a little bit of talking. Your family has some certain, how do I want to say this without delving off too far, certain opinions on directions for the country. Where do you
talk about politics?
What's that?
I do not talk about politics.
Your dad said he said to ask you about that. So I know where your family falls. We talked a little bit about it. We're there. Being from Florida, we're there. But next question. Going into 16, do you have any male friends you like to hang out with at the track, or female friends that you're particularly like to hang out with more so than others?
Yes, there is, but I do not bring that stuff up. I don't bring that stuff up, but yes, there is some.
Oh, well, good deal. That's very so. Your dad was kind of wanting to ask it. I got the oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
So he's didn't give up too much, but said that you get a little flustered and a little embarrassed with it. So
thank you.
So now here's the question though. When you're at the track, mm-hmm. I know most all of us that have race cars, and I know you, when you go to the track, are you focused? I know you go out and do stuff with the fans, and we've seen pictures of that. But the racing, do you get really focused on what you're doing with the car and all that stuff? Is everything else just kind of a blur other than what you're doing at the trailer getting ready for the races?
Yes. My dad even tries to come over and just tell me something, and I just tell him to go away. Because I'm like focused and I'm like in a zone. So whenever someone comes up to me, I just do not want them there because I'm focused on what I'm doing.
I got it. Anyway, so tell us about your race routine. What all do you do because we all kind of have a routine. What is your routine like when you're getting ready to go onto the racetrack? Can you tell us that?
What I do, I obviously have to have my receiver because if I don't have that, they'll black flag me.
Right.
But I have my receiver. I put that on and I get into the car. And while we're doing that, my dad, he blasts Thunderstruck on his Bose speaker. So we have that when we go in. So the tradition is blasting Thunderstruck. Yeah.
Yep. So then we got Mason Lastra. Big fan.
Oh my God, that's my teammate. Hi, Mason.
Hey, Mason, she was just talking about you on here, so we have to tell you. But now I watched one of your earlier races, and I don't know if they do it where if you win the previous main event, you have to start at the back or it's based on drawing. But I watched you start in the back of the field, and I think lap 3, you were already leading the race.
Yeah, that was so at Auburndale Speedway in Lakeland, Florida. If you win the race or come in the top 3 in the race before that, then you have to start in the heat race. You have to start in the in the back of the pack. But Auburndale changes it a lot of the time, so then it's not the same every weekend. So yes, I did have to start in last, and I think I got the lead within like a couple laps. So.
And it was amazing because it was like, and we see racing, you see the bumping and the banging, but there wasn't any of that from you. I mean, you literally, I don't think you touched another driver on there. And then once you got the lead, it was like, bye, see you later. It was an amazing run.
Well, there was kind of a thing that happened. I'm not going to disparage anything at the track, but when I was passing for the lead, I bumped a dude, and I only tapped him like hardly. He didn't even move, and then I moved him. Not like I just connected, slid under, and it moved him up, and he went right behind me, and I got black flagged for it, even though I hardly hit him. So that was the race when I finished when I was last and went to first within like a couple laps. So yeah, that happened, but that's beside the point.
All right, so I'm going to delve off into something, and I am an advocate of and anytime you're on here, you will hear me say we need more women in automobile racing, period. Doesn't matter what class, anywhere, we need more. I'm a huge proponent of it, and of why I want to give you as much time to talk on here as you want to promote this. Have you ran into any situations where you have been treated differently that you think about on the racetrack because you're a female?
Possibly by the guys, but I don't give it. I can't say that. I don't care if I'm a female and I'm racing against a guy. I don't think about that. I know other people think about it. I don't care. I'm just out there racing. It doesn't matter if I'm female or not or what I have. I'm just driving. I know a lot of people talk about it. I'm not really into like you are probably like with the women in motorsports. I just drive. You know what I mean? I'm not like, yeah, I'm a woman and I drive and I race. I just race. That's how I think of it.
Well, and I look at it because I come from a different era, and you hear all of that stuff. And I know in your age group, things are changing and people don't look at that. But for us, it's a big thing to me. I know women that are better drivers than I am, things like that. We're seeing women moving more into semi-trucks, which is what I do for a living. It's awesome.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of women that actually do it, and
right.
That's where there can be more. But I don't really think of it like that. Like I'm just out there driving and doing what I do. I know that I've had things said about me because I'm a girl and I'm out there racing. I don't care. I just go out there on the track and I beat them and I say suck it. That's just what I do because I just don't care. But that's what I do.
All right. So I heard an interesting story, and this goes back to what we're talking about. I heard you handle yourself very well when certain situations happen. And I want to know exactly what instance where somebody wadded up your bumper for no reason and how you handled that, because this is priceless. This is one of the best stories I have ever heard.
I stand up for myself. I'm going to stand up for myself when someone's going to do something to me that's out of pocket. So if you're going to brake check me after the race, and then you're going to, when I pass you because I don't hit your bumper, and you're going to full throttle me coming off the track, I'm going to have a problem with that. It doesn't matter how much money your daddy has or if your daddy is sponsoring the race. I just don't care. That's uncalled for. So what I did was I'm not going over to another driver's pit ever again. I'm not doing this again, but I will say something about it if something does happen, but I'm not doing what I did again with this. So I went over to their pit, and I went over to the dad. I didn't want to go to the driver because I knew something would happen if I did that. So I went over to his dad, and I was like, why did your son brake check me and then hit me after the race? And because when I was coming off the track, my dad seen them. He didn't go over to them. He was like far ways away, and he was wondering, I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but he's wondering why I'm not over there beating his son up. So then he said that it was uncalled for my dad to say that. And then the driver, his son, was like 5 feet back hiding behind his dad, like on the side. And then I said, I should be kicking your ass, like my dad said, and you're an asshole to the father. And I walked away. And then I went over to my car. I took my bumper off myself, and I put it in front of his car, and I walked away. So that was what I did. But I can't say that no more, and I'm not going to do it. But I am going to stand my ground, and I'm not going to put up with it.
And see, I get a lot of grief on here. I was a huge Danica Patrick fan when she went to NASCAR. I get a ton of grief about it, and it is what it is. It's kind of like being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It really is. Sorry for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans. But what I saw stuff going on when she came in there, you had Richard Petty, who is an ambassador to the sport. When you have somebody from his level saying basically that women don't belong in the sport, that kind of pissed me off. I know I don't have the kind of credibility that he does, but that's wrong. I don't care on any level. And that dude, to say that's one of the things that just absolutely pissed me off in that time frame was that. And that's why I support it, because it's like, dude, you're way out of time. You should be looking at it. And then seeing that, it was very impressive to see what she put up with. And that's why I liked her too, is because she didn't put up with crap. She'd go get in somebody's face too quick. She didn't have an issue with it. It's like, you see the look on their face like, what the hell do I do now? It's like they weren't expecting it. I think that's cool. And when I heard that story, that was very cool. And then one of our friends that we play Xbox with called me Duncan on there. That's the inside joke with him, but we call him Duncan because we were playing Call of Duty one night, and he had a 0 game. He got 0 kills. So it's like, dude, you rolled a donut, man. You got 0. You're Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my gosh.
So that's his nickname from here on out. So yeah, but you know what I'm saying. And your teammate said hopefully good earlier to our comment how he's doing. Yeah. So that's from Mason Lastra. But so what do you see yourself doing in the next 3 to 4 years with racing?
Honestly, I can't really tell you, because there's multiple different ways and like different paths that I can take with my career. I can go with Rev. I can find something else to do as well, either going into road course or possibly dirt or anything. The one that I'm possibly looking for is trying to go back and compete in the combine again for Rev in the adult program. But I still don't know if I'm going to be applying this year. So it all just depends on how everything pans out.
Can you tell us what Rev is so we understand? You've mentioned it several times, and I'm not sure what that is.
Rev Racing is partnered with NASCAR Drive for Diversity, and they run like the cars. They're like the racing team for NASCAR Drive for Diversity. So they like run the cars and the program and everything for that.
Okay. With your partner, Jason, have you looked at maybe doing some open wheel stuff? Do you have any interest in that portion of it, or?
Like the F4, like the F3 and stuff, yes.
Yeah.
I love road racing. My mom actually likes road racing more than oval racing, so whatever she likes, it's going to go a lot better. But yeah, I do love road racing. I actually believe that I'm better at road racing than I am oval. I love road racing. I just think it's a lot more fun to drive because there's a lot more turns and a lot more things. But yeah, open wheel cars, I'll drive anything really. Yeah.
Now you've had some experience with dirt racing on go-karts. Mm-hmm. Have you driven anything or any desire to go dirt racing, like with modifieds or late models?
No, I actually haven't. I mean, the reason why I haven't wanted to really go back into dirt racing is because I did that for like 6 to 7 years. And that was dirty and tire prep, and just it was too much. When you go to asphalt, even though I know y'all say that asphalt is for getting to the track, it's less work. You don't have to take apart your whole body, clean it, and then put it back on for the next weekend. It's just a lot easier and less work to do. But I mean, like, I'm fine driving anything. I love dirt. I love any form of racing in any car.
I laughed because of what you said, because we've had this discussion. I haven't covered any asphalt racing until this year. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, I've already said this, it's really nice because we can wear our nice white Speed Union t-shirt. You can get done at the end of the night and it's not covered in dirt. And they have a class out here, and I'm sure they have similar where you race. They're called B4s, the little front-wheel drive cars.
Yes, the scramblers. That's what we call them. They're
insane racing. The guys and the gals in that class, we got a guy that drives a pink Hello Kitty car in the group. It's awesome. And I'm not even, it's awesome. And they have another one that's called the murder car. They went and taken and spray painted all the characters like Chucky, Jason from all the horror movies onto it. But those guys race every lap. And when I tell you they race, I'm talking they're bumping each other's bumpers, they're pushing each other, but they're not wrecking each other. It's intense racing for 30 laps. It's cool as ever, and at the end of the night, they're clean, just like you said.
Well,
Now,
the scramblers that we normally have at like Auburndale, that's a show in itself. Sometimes we have just oil all over the track at some races. Sometimes we don't. So it sucks whenever we're after them. But I remember one time after the race, some dude got out of the car and he body slammed a dude on the front stretch after the race. So it's always a show when you're watching them because it's crazy. They're crazy.
but it's amazing racing. I mean, those
really
cars, they get after it. And I mean, when the legends were there, it was kind of the same thing. It was aggressive racing, but it wasn't, I'm going to wreck you to get around you. It was like bumper, bumper. Hey, I'm here. You either move over or we're going to go in there and we're going to race it into the corner. And they would do it. They'll go in 3 and 4 wide. And I'm sure y'all do it as well. It's dirt racing. You can't do that. It's not the dirt cars when they're up in attitude, just one little bump and then they're sideways or whatever. But those guys, so I'm starting to dig the asphalt racing this year. I got to tell you, they're changing my opinion on it. Do I want to do it? No, I don't think it's as fun. But to call it and watch it, hey, I'm enjoying every minute of it. Like I said, at the end of the night, you're not covered in dirt, so it's a plus.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling anybody that I am not a dirt racing fan because I absolutely love dirt racing. But you need to give the asphalt racing a chance. You won't be disappointed, I promise. So what other classes do they run at Auburndale besides, like you said, the scramblers and the Legends cars?
They have scramblers, legends. They had sprint cars there last week. They had modifieds. They have super light models. They have mini cup. They're like little go-karts, but like bodies on them. They have street stock. What else do they have? Pure stock. They have everything. They have a lot of cars.
Have you got to run some of the other classes over there, or you just run the Legends?
No, I've just ran the legend.
Okay. Somebody asked, what's your Jason McClung Santos, what's your number so he can root for you?
I'm the number 4. It's right here. Wait. Right here. Right there.
Yeah, the number 4, drive for diabetes. So, yeah.
Oh, Pro Trucks. Yes, they have Pro Trucks as well.
I have a friend that runs NCM Ministry out of North Carolina. He runs the Pro Trucks, Alan Huffman. Had him on the show. I haven't got to see any of these classes race, and it's these are new. We get to see the late models out here, but we don't have the trucks. And we have a class that's called the Bombers out here at the asphalt track. They're pretty exciting. That's another group that gets straight on after it now. So yeah. Now we don't have the fight so much like what you're talking about. So I have to ask you, being on the East Coast, have you made it up to Bowman Gray yet to watch any racing there?
No, actually I haven't. I want to go there. I've seen so many like videos of, like the modifieds and then like chasing each other in the infield, hitting each other. It's great. I want to go. I didn't go when I was in North Carolina in 2019 and I regret it. I want to go.
Yeah. I've driven by there. I've never been to the races. I went and watched the races at Caraway over there. That was kind of cool because I parked my truck and went to watch that. I got to see that. With the different carts you've ran, I noticed they said flat track carts. What are those? I don't know. I've never heard that term.
Like flat track carts, I don't really know how to explain it, but they have like a crate motor. They call them a box stock motor, and they do stuff to it. And they're about, I haven't raced a go-kart in forever, but I think they're like 10 horsepower, and we go like 60. I know that my dad hit like 80 miles an hour at Inverness before, so it just depends on what you're racing at. And we run them on oval, like clay tracks. They're not like dirt, but they're like clay. You use tire prep, and they stick, and you're like flat-footing it, and you're like this. You only turn the wheel like probably that much, and it turns itself, technically. But they have those, and they also run them on asphalt as well.
Yeah. So, and I heard, the reason why I asked is I heard Bill Elliott, or not Bill Elliott, maybe it was Ricky Rudd, was talking about they're doing something with the carts that you lay down in. I've never heard of those or seen those. I haven't Just wondering if you've seen any of that out
I
your way.
have I have seen a laydown cart, and those are crazy. I'd never get in one. I don't remember how fast they go, but I seen them at Daytona one time. There was a WKA event, which is the World Karting Association, and they had it. They run road course with those, and they lay down, and I would never get in one. They're like 100 miles an hour, 150 at Daytona. I don't really remember what it was, but it was too fast. Never, no, not doing it. Not with no seatbelt. Not when you're no seatbelt to like an inch off the ground. Not for me.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They were like 100+ mile an hour, and I mean, the little carts out that you see run like the 500s and all that, they're running 60, 70 mile an hour easily, if not more. That's now. Having driven the carts, did you have the desire to get into a sprint car? That's the next question.
No, I did not. Not after go-karting. I didn't know what I was going to do after karting. I ran those for 7 years, and when I applied, then because we applied for that, we just said legend cars. So we didn't really have a plan like where I was going to go after go-karting until that. And then when I went, everyone else left and went to legend cars. So I've been racing against a lot of go-kart people that I raced against. I have Sean English out there. I have my teammate Mason. He raced go-karts. There's Jackson Denton, TJ DeCare, whole bunch of dirt go-karters got legend cars after me. So I guess I'm the new trendsetter for dirt go-karts to run legends.
Well, and then Jason asked, does it matter on the engine on dirt or pavement? Honestly, Jason, I'm going to answer that question because I don't think so, because the pro late models out here are running 604 crates, the same thing as the IMCA modifieds, and they're flat getting around the track in a good clip.
On a legend car, they all run the same motor on road course, oval, and dirt. They run the Z09 or the 1200 or the 1250. Even with the go-karts that we ran the same motor for the road course and the dirt and the oval. So.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the guys that are starting out in the beginner, like box stock class and stuff like that, they go to Harbor Freight and get that Predator motor from Harbor Freight, and apparently they're kind of bulletproof and indestructible.
Yeah, they actually have that class. Around 2019, they made a class at the local dirt track that I used to race at, and it was called the Crate class, and you would buy the motor from Harbor Freight, and you'd go out there and race it, and that's what you would run.
Yeah, and I think they're $400 for a motor or something like that or less. They're not super expensive, and yeah, I was amazed by that. That and the other one, I think there's a Mazda engine or something like that, or I forgot the other one. I haven't seen that one. I've seen a lot of the Predators, but no, I was just kind of curious if you've given any thought about what you wanted to do. I noticed through trolling stuff, getting ready for the interview, clearly you're a Kyle Larson fan.
Yeah, I like Kyle Larson.
Yeah. Any other drivers that you like to watch and cheer for on the weekends besides your teammates?
There's Chris Buescher. I've known him for years. When we went to Daytona this year, I was in his hauler talking with him for like 30 minutes, just about everything really. Chris, I even have a die cast of his car sitting over there. So there's really Chris, Kyle. I like Hendrick. Hendrick is cool because I went to their shop. Alba Cologne, their head engineer. In 2019, when I got the NASCAR Youth Racer Award, she actually gave me her business card, and I went to Hendrick, and they gave me a tour around there. So I'm a fan of Hendrick.
Well, there you go. Well, I guess you couldn't complain with that. They're one of the most winningest teams out there. So now, see, I tend to be more, and I haven't watched the NASCAR race in 3 to 4 years.
Sit. Sorry, my father came in with a cookie and just put the dog here. So sorry.
That's Keto, right?
Yes, this is Keytown. He's the 110-pound German Shepherd. He wants his cookie, but yeah, this is him. He's a big dog.
Yeah, looks like a sweet dog though.
He's a big baby. Come here.
Yeah.
There we go. You can get your cookie. Yeah, that's
so
my big baby.
Now, doing with all your Twitch and stuff, have you got to meet Haley Deegan or do anything with her yet?
Not Haley. I have Dale Jr. who follows me on Twitch. I also have Natalie Decker. Me and her have been in contact on Twitch. We raid each other on Twitch. And yeah, I mean, I have a couple of people on there that from NASCAR that do follow me on there.
I like following Natalie's YouTube things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying this, and I have to choose my words carefully because I don't want it to come across. She's funny. Just because she's just a goof off. Everything she does, it's funny as can be.
Yeah.
I like watching it, and her boyfriend just tolerates.
Derek, yeah.
You can tell he's like, stop filming me, don't put me in this, and she does it anyway, and he's always so uncomfortable on there.
Yeah.
And I laugh at that every time I see that kind of stuff. So, and Jason has a question for you, and I'm going to run this out there. Do you get nervous when you're about to win a race?
No, I'm just driving. You can't really. If you get nervous, then you make mistakes. And you don't want to make those mistakes, so you can't get nervous.
Well, I can attest that without going too much. The first time I led the race for several laps, it was like, you go past the checkered flag, and it was like, oh, nobody's passed me yet. Hold on. So you come around again, it's like, nobody's passed me yet. And then when they get up there and do pass you, then you do start doing stupid things, or at least I did, because I don't have the experience. It's like, well, that guy's fast over there, so let's jump in and follow him. Yeah, that was the stupidest thing I ever did, because it's like, just because he could run there doesn't mean you can. So absolutely, Jason, you're correct. You can't think about that. You just keep running the same lap, hit the same mark every time, and keep going. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, we've kind of done right about an hour, so I think we'll get ready to call it a night right here. Is there any sponsors or anything you want to mention before we go? I'm going to put some stuff up here for you.
Yeah, I want everyone to go check out Drive for Diabetes Awareness. Go to dfda.info right here on the logo. Go there, go check out all the symptoms of diabetes, and remember to check, don't guess. It may not be the flu. Big thank you to MVB Motorsports, Drive for Diabetes Awareness. Then we also have Help a Diabetic Child, Golf Mental Strategies. They're amazing. We love them. And I think that's really it.
So here's some of her merchandise right here that we got up. Something that I mentioned that they mentioned all the time was your car is gray with the red fenders. And I believe they said in Alaska they have one made up just like that for you.
In Alaska, they are painting the car just like that.
That's very, very cool. And we have some comments in here. Thanks, Roy. Love you. And your dad shared a picture. I'm going to post it up. This is all in support. I think this is off your hero card, maybe.
That is not my hero card, no.
No, that's for the inductee. Yeah, and it's got your age 6, 2012, when you were a youngster, and then in your go-kart, and then now. I like the way you're.
From 2019. That one of me standing up. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wanted to share some of the stuff your dad showed. And Johnny Laster, great job to both of you. So,
thank you, Johnny.
Yeah. And thanks everybody for tuning in tonight, and thank you, Lacy, for your time. And we'll end it right here.
Well, thank you for having me, Roy.
Yeah, thank you. Hang tight for just a minute.